Hi, Chris Cantelmo here with another daily vibration. Walking along, oh, let me look into the sun for you guys. Pretty bright day, there we go. More about DMT and what DMT enables. DMT enables you to keep this dimension, the default dimension that we live in our everyday lives as adults. And when you add DMT, you suddenly are able to perceive other dimensions. And it's not like some feeling. It's not like, oh, do I sense something that I don't normally sense? You see things in these other dimensions that you cannot see in the default dimension. Now, every single person who does DMT and ayahuasca reports the same thing. They see things that they couldn't see before. And until I figured this out, the notion was those were hallucinations. Those were creations of the mind that didn't exist outside of the mind. Bullshit. When you do DMT and when you do ayahuasca and you open your eyes, you see things that you could not see before because they're in the real world, but you need the higher resolving power enabled by DMT to see them. It's that simple. Everyone who does DMT and ayahuasca reports the same thing. I'm the first guy to realize that they're not hallucinations. They're not figments of the imagination. They are real perception of the real world in higher dimensions. Now, a lot of you, and that's a hard thing to wrap your head around, except for the fact that we're very familiar with the ability of small molecules to have profound effects on our perception. Caffeine is a very small molecule. You drink it and you think better. People talk about how stupid they are before they have their cup of coffee, and then suddenly they become geniuses. Yeah, not usually. Except that it has a profound effect. Well, there's another molecule, small molecule, and I would think that everyone would agree that serotonin, a small molecule, has a profound effect on our ability to think. You don't have serotonin, you don't think. Now everyone walks around saying, yeah, of course serotonin, it's well known. Okay, so you admit that a serotonin-like molecule has a profound effect on our ability to perceive the world. Well, let's look at this other molecule, dimethyltryptamine. Extremely similar to serotonin. Very, very similar, almost identical in fact. Well, it's a drug. Well, no, it isn't a drug. It's made by the brain and the pineal gland and elsewhere in the lungs. It's produced by the body. And when we're kids, it's the primary neurotransmitter, not serotonin. When you do DMT, not only do you like caffeine, you become much more enabled. You can see things that you just cannot see when you don't have DMT in your head. Just like caffeine, when you wake up and you can't really think, but then you drink caffeine and boom, you can think. Think of DMT as caffeine times a billion.
Oh, how do we know that's true?
Well, everyone who does it says the same thing. There will be no one who does DMT who will contradict anything that I'm saying. Now, there are some people out there who have come and said,
well, I've done DMT. It didn't happen.
Well, you probably didn't do DMT then. People sell angel dust as DMT. Or if you did DMT, you sprinkled it on like these people who take a little and sprinkle it on pot. I mean, come on, grow up, people. Pot is a great way to get intoxicated and frankly quite stupid usually. It relaxes some people. Some people it allows them to deal with the real world. Great. I'm not saying don't do pot, but do not equate marijuana and DMT. There's different things. And adding like marijuana equals kind of stupid to DMT equals genius. You mix them together, you're basically just normal. Very uninteresting. These people who they do DMT once and then they don't do it again, they obviously didn't have the, you didn't do enough. Because no one who has the experience would ever only do it once. So those of you who have done DMT but aren't actively seeking out a future interaction with it, you missed the point. You did something wrong. No, you're wrong and I'm right. Now go back and retrace your steps and figure out where you went wrong when you tried DMT. Do the right amount. If you haven't done DMT to the point where you reached a point where you thought you were going to die, you were convinced you were going to die, then you haven't done enough. And once you get to that point, you are going to be part of this revolution, and it is a revolution. There was a time before I discovered that DMT enables real perception of real things. And now there's the time after, and it's a whole different world. It's a whole different universe. Now you can get on board and join us, because we in the DMT community are laughing at you. You people who haven't done DMT, you're like these fish in a barrel. And we who have done DMT, we're outside the barrel looking at you inside the barrel. Lucky for you, we're not going to use our shotguns. I don't have a shotgun. I don't believe in shooting fish in a barrel. But that's what it's like. That's how easy it is dealing with you nudniks. Now come on now. This shouldn't be that hard. Chris Cantelmo here with another Daily Vibration.